because I tried to reduce the oil going into the crank because it was getting too much, and then we did something and it got too little, so we're going back to the beginning. So hopefully this will fix it, and hopefully we didn't do any damage.
We'll check your oil levels and we'll do a checklist.
We drained the crank. When I got back, it had about, what, 2 ounces?
2 ounces at most.
2 ounces at most. That doesn't cut it, especially on a hot day, long straights. This is what happens when you don't have a place to practice. You don't know until you get to the track.
What was your other problem?
My other problem was my leg was starting to cramp.
Well, for that you need some electrolytes.
Yeah, that's like too much coffee and no water in the morning.
I'll show you what the problem was. This little guy right here was the problem, right?
I think that was the whole problem. We were trying to reduce the oil passage down. And I had one similar to that, was a little bit bigger. This was smaller. I think this is 0.125. And I'm hoping that's the problem. So we'll find out. I know if it starts season again because it makes ugly noises.
Well, if it starts season, come off the track and
That's so embarrassing.
It's not, because if your bike seizes, that's going to be a whole lot of problems.
Yeah, I know.
Dad's coming in to stop. He's going to stop. So, how did it go?
Didn't go too good. Yeah, well, there's a problem. Heat. It definitely had a lot of heat. Piston's like burnt.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Check that out.
The exhaust turned blue. It wasn't lean. Problem was down not getting oil. That was the major problem.
So for people that are kind of new to this, what would have happened had you just tried to keep going?
Would have seized up.
And what does that feel?
The piston would have seized to the cylinder and locked the back wheel up.
What does that feel like when you're on the track? Like when your back
If
wheel
it
locks
seizes
up?
up and you're leaning in a corner, you're going to go down for sure. Because your back tire is going to lock up. If it seizes up while you're on the straightaway, it's still going to lock up. You can actually feel it.
And you were feeling
surging.
that.
Huh?
You were feeling that, weren't you?
I was, yeah. And that's why I pulled off the track and babied it back in to the pits. So yeah, you can see it. You can see the heat. But it doesn't look like, I don't see any scoring yet. So we might be lucky there. Sometimes it gets that hot, the piston will actually melt down and come apart. And you'll have aluminum everywhere. I don't see that in this one. And this should be the hottest cylinder because it's the rear.
With a coated piston, does it kind of help to
Coating
prevent that a little bit?
Coating helps, yes. Yeah, I can still move that piston. Yeah, I can push it down.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah. I don't see any damage to the cylinder itself. But the other thing I'm concerned about was the vibration.
Yeah.
I was getting vibration. It doesn't really look. Might be able to get away with a hone on that one anyway. There's some scuffing here.
Yeah.
But that's probably from carbon. But you can still see the crosshairs. It's just discolored from the heat. So far on this one, I can get away with a light hone. The piston might be damaged though. See, it's got some shake. It's supposed to be 5 thousandths. I would say it's at least 5,000. So far, I'm saying it's just lack of lubrication. So we'll get the front one off. The vibration.
You're
we got
gonna
to tear it the whole way down, check the bearings on the bottom. But I'm not feeling any. What we're going to do is check the run out with the gauge, make sure there's not excess run out, shouldn't be over 2,000. I'm told, my machinist said they're okay up to 4, but preferably under 2, as close to 0 as you can get on the run out. That's these shafts here. Run out would be moving up and down. It's hard to read on the sprocket shaft because it's so short. With the pinion shaft, once you get the gear case off, you can measure that way. One thing you might notice about my head bolts, the ones I trimmed down because they're so long and heavy. Here's an example of a trimmed one. And it's taking some weight off doing that. And these I gotta leave long for my motor mounts. About ready to knock this head off. Dun, 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 dun. I see heat, but it's nothing like the rear. Nothing like the rear, which is to be expected because the front's getting more air. And there's no coloration like this one. Its cylinder looks good. You still see the crosshairs very clear. Little scuffing, but I think the light home's gonna fix it right up. So, you get the cylinders off, and we'll check the rod plug, and then take the bottom apart. So far what we're seeing, Sassy did definitely have a heat stroke.
It was just too hot to handle.
She was dehydrated. My fault, sorry Sassy. I had to experiment with you.
There's just so many details with all of this. It's not unimaginable for something to go wrong. Would you recommend to somebody that wanted to start racing to first learn all the mechanics behind the bike?
Unless they can afford to have somebody else do it. You don't have the resources to have somebody else to do it. Yeah, you gotta learn to do it yourself. Or have a good friend that does it. And have a good machine shop nearby. But this is about the simplest design. These flatheads. I mean, they're dinosaur motors, I guess you'd call it, prehistoric. Still a lot to know. You think about it, there's no moving parts in the heads. It's just one hunk of metal. One hunk of metal. No valves in there, nothing moving.
Yeah, but there's so many different measurements that you have to understand.
Yeah. I think we might have gotten lucky with this one. This is the rear. Might have just been too tight. Not enough clearance. I'm a little new with these pistons, you know. They might need a little more skirt clearance. Because we got oil. Right?
Yeah.
But then that could be the second time we went out.
Oh, right.
Right? Because we opened up the oil pump. Something caused heat. And I think it was the first time we took it out. Because that's when it was starving.
Do you think if you would have had the synthetic oil in at those levels, it would have acted differently?
Oh, I think it would have been better, yeah. But
Or is it purely that, like, the levels weren't enough no matter what kind of oil you would have had?
hard to say. There's oil in the intake. Just got oil after. I think the second time out is when it got oil. What I'm wondering now is what caused the vibration. Because all this feels okay. So time consuming.
What else would you do with your time, though? Play
Maybe
golf?
drink a beer.
This is better for you than drinking beer.
That's possible.
Sometimes.
That's possible. There's some of the old gang. My buddies.
Got it.
She's all proud of herself. And you got a little scratching going on there. I didn't have that with synthetic oil. Rod feels about right. I'm not seeing any heat damage on that one. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll ever use this one. I don't know. Everything looks okay so far. Just still concerned about the vibration part. If it's getting more vibration than it should have in the end. So I'll tear the bottom apart. See what that looks like. Okay, so we got this far. We got the cylinders off. In conclusion, it was just under lubricated. The rear cylinder started to seize. There's a lot of heat detected, and I think that's basically what the problem was. We have to not starve the motor. That's probably what we did. It's like hydration or dehydration. Sassy was definitely dehydrated the first time out, and I think that's when she heated up really bad. And and another thing I want to recheck is the skirt clearance. I think we're going to open it up more, at least to like 6 thousandths. And I'm going to replace this piston. The front one looks okay. But replace this piston, rehome, check skirt clearance, get the oiling corrected. Eventually go back to synthetic oil, I think, because I was happy with that. And I think we'll be okay after that. So, thanks for watching.